imagine that you fall in love with a sport as a child. You commit your entire childhood to the sport. Practice your craft, harness your skills, and sleep, eat, and breathe your sport. Then, when you are finally on the verge of reaching your dream, being a professional athlete and competing in the sport you love for your career, you are forced to quit and give up on your dream. And not because you want to, but rather because your body lets you down. This is exactly what happened to pro pickleball player Jessie Irvine. Irvine sacrificed her childhood for her love of the sport of tennis. Then, while still a teenager at the age of 18 or 19, Irvine made the decision to close the door on the game. The decision was difficult, but her body would not let her compete on the court. Early life and tennis. The 32-year-old is no stranger to the grind of long days on a court, thanks to nearly 10 years of competitive tennis. There was once a time when Irvine spent most of her waking hours eating, sleeping, breathing tennis in pursuit of her dream to make it on the WTA Tour. Irvine became fixated on tennis at age 10, and thanks to her natural aptitude, soared to the top 10 of nationally ranked juniors by age 13. Originally a native of Cary, North Carolina, Irvine moved to Florida to train at the Everett Tennis Academy and the Rick Machi Tennis Academy during her teenage years. Ostensibly just another young girl hoping to become the next Steffi Graf, Irvine's athletic career was beset by a dark undercurrent of chronic pain and mental turmoil. Her family's history of arthritis manifested itself in young Jessie through a related complaint, but with a whole different set of repercussions. Born with insufficient cartilage to cushion her bones and joints, Irvine was plagued by aches and inflammation that was exacerbated by the physical demands of the sport she loved. Ironically, my otherwise healthy body was my downfall, Irvine says with a laugh. If I'd broken a bone or sprained something as a child and ended up in the hospital, they would have recognized my condition and told me to stay away from anything that could worsen my issues, particularly sports. Already fully committed to tennis when the doctor's evaluation finally came, Irvine made the decision to continue playing. She was warned that her condition was degenerative based on usage, so she began intensive physical therapy in an attempt to alleviate the damage. To combat the chronic pain throughout her body, Irvine began taking strong daily doses of Motrin ibuprofen and other painkillers as a junior. Any serious tennis player will tell you that when you're trying to make it, you don't have the option to not play, says Irvine. You'll play through pain, injuries, whatever it may be, as long as you physically can. Any time off is time wasted and creates a window for the competition to overtake you. Despite Irvine's incredible fighting spirit and after turning pro at 18, Irvine was eventually forced to admit that pain relievers and willpower were no longer enough. Nothing could mask the agonizing issues she was experiencing in her shoulder while serving. Without the necessary cartilage to handle the all-important task of cushioning her bones and surrounding tissue, the nerves in Irvine's shoulder were sliding out of place at random, ending up in between her bones. The extreme pain caused by this can be equated to that experienced by someone with a pinched nerve. At just 19, Irvine retired from tennis and accepted an offer to study at UCLA, where she earned a degree in sports psychology. But the day-to-day pain persisted and she continued self-medicating with over-the-counter drugs. This decision to step away from the sport of tennis weighed heavy on Irvine. She struggled to mentally regroup. So, at the young age of 21, Irvine moved across the country from North Carolina to Los Angeles, California for a fresh start. Irvine knew no one, no family, no friends. She was on her own and looking for a clean slate. Introduction to pickleball. Although far from home, she fell back on something familiar, something that she loves, the sport of tennis. But this time, in a new role. Rather than competing as a tennis athlete, Irvine took on coaching roles. She coached and still coaches tennis. In particular, youth or junior tennis players, which she is passionate about her role in building great human beings through the sport of tennis, as opposed to building only tennis champions. Through her tennis experience in LA in 2016, Irvine found paddle or pop tennis, which allowed Irvine the ability to be competitive in a few tournaments every year. However, Irvine noticed that the game was stagnant and not growing. There were few top players and even fewer top female players. But through her new paddle and pop tennis friends, notably Roberto Donati, Irvine was introduced to the sport of pickleball just a couple years later in late 2018. After some minor convincing to try another new sport, Irvine was hooked once she got a paddle in her hand. She loved the fact that pickleball was growing and full of buzz, as well as the fact that pickleball was easier on her body, compared to paddle or pop tennis, which was clearly important for Irvine after her struggles with her body at an early age. Still missing the addictive competition that tennis had supplied her with, Irvine became curious about pickleball, after hearing it described as easier on the body than tennis. With no overhead serves, more compact movements, a much smaller court, and doubles as the preferred format, pickleball sounded like a possible fit. She began playing at the end of 2018 and quickly caught the healthy bug pickleball career. Despite all of these challenges and struggles, Irvine has still made it to the top 5 players in all the divisions of women's pickleball. She has had an impressive career and wins and will continue to shine brighter. Irvine began winning consistent titles early on in her pro career, including gold in mixed doubles at the Las Vegas Open, gold in women's doubles at the Rocky Mountain Championship, and 4th place finishes in women's doubles at the 2019 and 2020 US Open. Jessie is also a 2019 Tournament of Champions gold and silver medalist, a 2019 Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships, gold and silver medalist, and a double silver medalist in women's doubles and mixed doubles at the 2020 PPA Las Vegas Championships. Her total prize money from pickleball is estimated to be $66,825. Irvine's pickleball secret. Irvine sometimes jokes that the secret to her success is the little flask of Coke and Malibu rum that she keeps hidden in her bag during tournaments. But seriously, it is hard work and dedication which has made Irvine reach this far. To reach this goal, number 1, first, Irvine has cranked up her fitness. She does fitness training at least twice a week and has lost over 15 pounds on her mission to be a better physical athlete. Irvine accurately notes that physical fitness is critical on the pickleball court, especially after playing for hours and hours during long pickleball tournaments. Number 2, she focuses on injury prevention, as Irvine believes that prevention is better than the cure. While Irvine has less pain and injuries as compared to tennis, plus there is no overhand serve to worry about pinching any nerves, she still struggles with a lack of cartilage. As a result, managing pain and injuries with physical therapy and other remedies is important to her process. Number 3, Irvine works on her mental game, as she understands that pickleball demands another level of focus. On the pickleball court, if you lose focus, bad things can happen quickly. She is also able to stay sharper on the court when it comes to strategy, which is so important to the sport of pickleball. Number 4, since Irvine only plays doubles and not singles, which is in an effort to extend her pickleball life, Irvine understands the importance of a strong partnership. She does not want to let her partner down, who is sharing in her on-court experience with her. Number 5, Irvine stays in the moment. She wears her emotions on her sleeve, which is evident if you have ever seen Irvine play and have heard her signature, "Come on." This raw emotion is present when Irvine is at her best. Number 6, no matter the result, and no matter how hard Irvine is working to achieve her goal, Irvine always keeps everything in perspective. This could be a result of her youth tennis coaching. as she constantly reminds her students to have balance, work hard, and have fun, and to take deep breaths because everything is going to be okay. So, are you as inspired by Jessie Irvine's life as we are? Do you think she will be able to become the best pickleball player in the world? Hit that like and subscribe button and let us know your views in the comments. Until then, peace out.